Hello, today we'll be learning about the definite article in ancient Greek. Now in English, the definite article is simply the word the, whereas in ancient Greek there are lots of different ways to translate the word the. So the goal for the end of today's lesson is to learn how to identify which word in a sentence is the definite article and also how to spot it. Now, the definite article is defined by its case and gender and whether it is singular or plural. So we'll begin by talking about gender. Gender simply refers to whether something is masculine, feminine, or neuter. So for example, the masculine refers to whether something is male, like a man. The feminine refers to whether something is female, like a woman. And the neuter refers to something that is neutral, such as a tree. However, in ancient Greek, every single word in the language, the nouns, have been given a prescribed gender. So you might find that a ship is a feminine word and a tree is a neuter word. So that concludes gender. Now, the definite article will change depending on whether it's singular or plural. So the singular simply means if you're referring to one object, such as the pen, whereas the plural will refer to whether you're talking about multiple things at once, so the pens. See how I use the in both? So English says the twice, whereas ancient Greek will change this word. So the next thing that changes the definite article is the case. So we'll go through these one at a time, otherwise it can be a lot of information. So the nominative, this first one here on the table, refers to the subject of a sentence and the complement of the sentence, and both relate to the verb to be. So let's look at some English to begin. If we just look at this first sentence here, the field is beautiful. Now in the sentence we've got our verb is, from to be, and we have our subject, the field, and the complement, beautiful. Now if we look at the Greek, ho agros kalos estin, that means the field is beautiful. So the first word, ho, that refers to the. So that there is our definite article. So we can write that in our table. It is masculine and nominative, because the field in ancient Greek is masculine. And we can tell that by the endings here, os. That is a masculine ending. And agros is the field, and kalos is beautiful. So they have the same endings because they are nominative, and so they are governed by the article ho. Now this will change, the article will change depending on its gender. So in the feminine nominative, this would be hair, like this. For the neuter, this would be to. So for example, to dendron is the tree. The masculine nominative plural would be hoi. So in this sentence below that we've used, the field would change to hoi agroi, the fields. So feminine would be hai, and the neuter would be ta, like this. Yeah. So in the second example sentence here, we have in the English, Decapolis is a farmer. Now Decapolis is our pronoun, and a farmer is the complement. So here we have again ho. Now you know that's the masculine nominative in our table. And Decapolis, he ends with is, which is another form of masculine ending in Greek, and afturgos, which is farmer, os, and then estin is, which is the same in both sentences. So that concludes the nominative, and now we'll move on to the accusative. Now the accusative refers to the direct object of a transitive verb, and this usually means that we're talking about motion towards something. So in English you probably see the accusative with the word to or towards. So let's look at our English example sentence. If we move the page up a little bit. Yeah. So here's our sentence. He or she walks towards the house. So there you go. Towards shows the motion, which tells us it's accusative. And in Greek, towards is pros. That's our preposition. And so our accusative word is the house. Ton oikon. Here. Ton oikon. So there we can fill in ton for accusative. Now that's masculine because we're going with he walks into the house here. For she walks into the house, the ton oikon will be the same because the house is a masculine word. But if you had a feminine example, this would be 10. Like, oh, a bit longer, 10. And the neuter is the same again, to, as the one before. The masculine is tous, written like so. The feminine, tas. And the neuter, ta, the same again as the one, as the neuter nominative. So that's the accusative. And now we'll go on to the genitive. And move up just a little so we can see our next sentence. Okay, so the genitive refers to the motion from a place, or it can come with some prepositions. So if you see the word of, that's usually going to mean that the definite article is going to be genitive. So comes out of the house. That's in our sentence here, comes out. So that, there you go, that's the motion away from the house. So if you look in the Greek here, ek bane, ek tu oiku. So ek is off, comes out of, and tu oiku is of the house. So the house. So there we can fill into our table. Genitive to. Yeah. And the feminine of this is tes. The genitive is tu. And you notice that that is actually the same as the masculine genitive. Tu, tes, tu again. Sometimes they're the same, sometimes they're different. It just depends on the language style. So then the plural is tone. Oh, that's a bit messy. Let's redo that. Tone. Like this. And for all the plural ones of the genitive, they are all the same. Oh, I messed off the letter. Tone. So that's nice and easy to remember when you're memorising the table. Tone. Yeah, so that concludes genitive. Now we'll move on to the dative. So the dative refers to the place where something happens. So, if we look at the English, we've got he or she sleeps in the house. So that's in. That shows you where, in the house. So the Greek is kathude en toi oikoi. So en is in, so that's our preposition that tells us it's dative. And then toi oikoi means in the house. En toi oikoi, in the house. So let's put that into our table. Toi. Now you may see in some inscriptions a little iota here. That makes the oi sound, otherwise it would be toe. That's just language differences. Sometimes it will be there, sometimes it won't. Yeah, it depends on whether scribes who have rewritten the text in different periods have decided, oh, it'd be better in the dative case. So yeah, that could be editorial marks. Dative feminine, singular, would be te, like this. That's the little iota subscript at the bottom there. And then the neuter would be toy, like that. Then we've got toys, tice, and toys. There we go. And then we'll move on to the vocative afterwards.